The gardener found bones that were buried after we bought the house. Hector had been landscaping our yard for 3 months when his shovel hit something hard. My wife Janet and I had bought the place just 6 months ago, a beautiful Victorian that needed some work. We were planting new rose bushes when Hector called us over, his face pale. "These aren't old bones," he said, holding what was clearly a human femur. "The soil around them is fresh, maybe 8 months." My blood went cold. We'd owned the house for 6 months. Someone had buried a body here just 2 months before we moved in. We called the police immediately. They brought in forensics, dug up the entire side yard. They found a complete skeleton, along with something else, a wallet with a driver's license. The photo showed a man who looked exactly like me. Same face, same hair, even the same scar above my left eyebrow from a childhood accident. The name was different, Jonathan Morse. The detective, a woman named Torino, stared at me hard. "You're saying you don't know this person?" I shook my head. "I've never seen him before. He just looks like me." Janet grabbed my hand. "This is insane. We bought this house from an elderly couple, the Weatherbys. They'd lived here 40 years. Detective Torino pulled up her tablet. "The Weatherbys died in a car accident 7 months ago. The house was sold by their estate. That didn't match. We'd met the sellers, a younger couple, maybe 40s, friendly but eager to leave town for new jobs. We even had dinner with them during escrow. The detective showed us the real estate records. The signatures were there, but the names were different. Not the couple we'd met, but an LLC called Fresh Start Holdings. We'd been scammed somehow, but how? We'd seen these people multiple times, had their phone numbers. When the detective called the numbers, they were disconnected. The emails bounced back. It was like the couple we'd bought from never existed. Then the DNA results came back. The bones were a match for me. Not a relative, not a cousin. An exact genetic match. The detective accused me of faking my own death, but I had alibis. I'd been living in Seattle when this person was buried, working at a tech company with hundreds of witnesses. The investigation stalled until Janet found something in the attic, a box of photographs hidden under insulation. They showed the couple we'd bought the house from, but in these pictures, they were wearing our clothes, standing in our old Seattle apartment with our friends. In one photo, the man who'd sold us the house was at my company's Christmas party, wearing my name tag. "That's impossible," I said. "I was at that party. I remember it. But when I called my former coworkers, they remembered differently." "You left early," one said. "You seemed different that night, quieter." The detective developed a theory. Someone had been impersonating me for months before we moved. They'd been living a parallel version of my life, establishing themselves, then used that identity to sell us this house. But why? And who was the dead person who looked exactly like me? Janet found the answer in our basement. Behind a false wall, she discovered a whole laboratory, equipment for DNA extraction, tissue cultivation, even what looked like 3D biological printers. There were files with our names, our histories, our genetic profiles from a genealogy website we'd used years ago. Someone had been making copies of us. The couple who sold us the house weren't scammers. They were us, or versions of us. They'd created this identity, sold us our own future home, then disappeared. But something had gone wrong with one of the copies, the one buried in the yard. We hired a private investigator who found similar cases in 5 other states. Couples buying houses from people who looked exactly like them, finding bones that matched their DNA. All the houses had hidden labs. All the sellers vanished completely. The FBI took over the investigation. They think someone is testing illegal cloning technology, using real people as templates, creating duplicates, having them establish identities, then killing them off after the experiment. But they can't figure out who's behind it or why. We still live in the house. We removed the lab, filled in the grave, planted those roses after all. But sometimes I wonder, am I the original, or am I one of the copies who survived? Janet asks the same question. We've agreed never to take another DNA test. Some answers are better left unknown. Last week, we got a postcard with no return address. It showed a tropical beach and had 2 words, "Thanks for the house." It was signed with my name in my handwriting. We burned it and didn't tell the FBI. We're done with investigations. Done with questions. We just want to tend our roses and pretend the bones beneath them aren't real.